Welcome back to my channel, Ronald's Modern Life. Today I did something that I have been wanting to do forever, and I accomplished it today, a helicopter tour over Universal. Just got back and I had a great time. Don't mind the Spring Breakers poster behind me. It fits the theme, Florida. So let me walk you through the experience kind of step by step. First thing, parking is a bit of a mess. I was circling and circling and circling trying to look for parking. At least today, it was a Sunday afternoon and parking was rough. So consider that a little bit. So after you find parking, you kind of go into the building, a small little room where you buy your tickets, and there's some merch there as well, because of course there would be. You do have to wait, so they do walk-ins only at this location. We waited about 30 or so minutes, not too bad. But then I will say we waited more once we kind of got in there. So we were told to come back in about 30 minutes, and we waited about another 30 minutes before we actually went up to the second level. On the second level is where they give you some safety information, and then eventually they walk you out into your helicopter. They do offer 6 different tours, so we'll go through them right now. The first tour is $45, and you would do Universal, Islands of Adventure, and Volcano Bay, and that takes about 5 minutes. So if you want to kind of get up there and come right back down, 5 minutes, there you go. The next tour is Tour 2, and that is $55, and that is 7 minutes, and you really kind of avoid Universal entirely on that tour. It is just SeaWorld and Icon Park. So it's like SeaWorld, Aquatica, Discovery Cove, and then Icon Park. So you're kind of missing Universal completely. Then there's Tour 3, which is what I did, which is $75, and that is Universal, Islands of Adventure, Volcano Bay, SeaWorld, Aquatica, Discovery Cove, Icon Park, and Epic Universe. And again, that tour is about 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, they say. Then tour number 4, which is really more so Disney focused. It is $100. It is about 11 to 12 minutes long, and you do a lot more Disney stuff. So you're doing Disney Springs, Typhoon Lagoon, Disney's Animation and Pop Century Resort, and then Icon Park, SeaWorld, Aquatica, Discovery Cove. You get the picture. Tour number 5, and I do have to read this off because it's a lot more information. It's $130 a person. It is about 15 minutes, and you do Disney Springs, Typhoon Lagoon, Disney's Animation and Pop Century, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Blizzard Beach, Animal Kingdom, Disney's Wide World of Sports, Icon Park, SeaWorld, Aquatica, and Discovery Cove. Then tour number 6, which I will do one day, because why the hell not? That's $200 a person, but it is a 20 to 25 minute ride, and you basically see everything. So that's SeaWorld, Aquatica, Discovery Cove, Disney Springs, Disney's Animation and Pop Century Resort, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Blizzard Beach, Animal Kingdom, Disney's Worldwide of whatever it's called, of sports, Typhoon Lagoon, Old Town, Icon Park, Margaritaville Island H2O, Universal, Islands of Adventure, Volcano Bay, and Epic. So again, if you want to do Epic, you're either doing tour number 6 or you're doing tour number 3, which again is what I did. Okay, let's get into my experience. So like I said, we got there, we paid, took about 30 minutes before we were told to come back. We went back, waited about another 30 or so minutes, and then we went upstairs, did our safety information, and then got onto the helicopter. Super easy, super professional, super smooth. There was nothing that was a concern. Safety information was kind of basic. They tell you where not to stand because, rotary blades and stuff like that. I actually sat up next to the pilots. That was kind of fun. I had like a 360 view. Things I didn't expect though, for some reason I thought there would be air conditioning in there. There was not air conditioning in there. Within the first minute, I had sweat just dripping down my face. It's kind of hard to capture on video, but it was really amazing to see everything from that perspective. You don't see things like that, from that perspective that often. It was really interesting for someone, again, like me, I'm at these parks kind of all the time. I've been to these parks many, many, many times, but it was so cool to see everything from up there and to see kind of backstage. I could see HHN tents being put up and stuff like that. It was really just cool to see everything from a different angle. That was my only real negative, I will say, is it's quick. I think even on the 25-minute tour, tour number 6, which is $200, you're seeing a lot in that 30-minute period. And, because like you're flying, the helicopter never stops. You never like hover over anything. You get up, you do a little, circle around and you go back down. So it was quick. So that's the only kind of thing I would have loved to be able to kind of get up there and really soak in the views and really like look. It wasn't exactly super smooth. There was a little bit of shakiness involved, but it wasn't anything that was of a concern. I didn't feel unsafe at any time. In fact, I kind of even forgot I was even in the helicopter for a while. I was just too busy looking at everything and I wasn't even paying attention to the fact that I was in this helicopter. Going over SeaWorld, I haven't been to SeaWorld in years. I will change that eventually, but it was cool to see SeaWorld from up there. It was obviously fantastic to see Epic again from up there. I kind of felt like BioReconstruct. If you're on theme park Twitter, you know who that is. Would I do it again? Absolutely. There is no doubt in my mind that I would do it again. I think doing it again when it might be a little bit cooler out might be better. I think doing it closer to sunset might be better. So thank you for joining me on a theme park adjacent kind of experience here in Orlando. It was a unique experience and I don't know how often I'm going to do it. I definitely want to do it again. I wouldn't mind bringing my little brothers up there. I think they would have fun. It was great. So thank you again and I'll see you next time. Bye.